welcome everybody to the next session of the QGIS Open Day. It's wonderful to have you all. Please make sure to comment in the live chat, ask any questions for the team, tell us where you're tuning in from. It's always exciting to know where the community is coming to us from. So this session is on the QGIS documentation as well as the QGIS website. I'm very excited to see the latest updates, to see what the team has been doing. We, of course, have Lova and Selma with us, who have been working tirelessly on the website and the documentation. So they're going to take us through that. Tim and a couple of other team members are also in the meeting, so they'll be asking some questions. Selma, Lova, are you happy for me to interrupt with live stream questions as we go?
Sure.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then it just leaves me to hand over to you to take us through the awesome new updates. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sammy, for the introduction. I think I will start with the QGIS website's updates. So let me share my screen.
I can see perfectly.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, there are some couples of update on the QGIS website. So this is how the website looks now. But today I wanted to present the QGIS Hub portal. You can access it through the resources menu and the resources hub, or you can also just type hub.qgis.org. It works as well. And yeah, the QGIS Hub portal is a platform dedicated to QGIS resources, such as styles, projects, models, 3D models, layer definitions, and recently we also have added some new resources type, which are the map gallery and the processing scripts. So to start with, I wanted just to mention that if you want to contribute or upload a new resource to the hub, you need an OSGeo account. But downloading or getting a resource from the hub that doesn't need any account. So in QGIS, you can download directly through here or directly through QGIS with the QGIS Hub plugin. So if you don't have it yet, you can just install it through the plugin manager and just type Hub here. This is the plugin. It's developed by Ismail and Ronit. So just install it. And yeah, when you run it, it fetches all the resources from the hub, and yeah, you can basically download it or add directly the resource to QGIS. So moving back to the QGIS hub, let's start with the styles. So what QGIS styles are? It says here that they are a set of properties that can be applied to vector layers. They are used to render the layer in the map canvas. So here on the main page of the style, you can see some styles that have already been uploaded and approved. And yeah, if you click on a style, you can see more details about it, or yeah, or download it. You can also filter a style list by style type. For example, I've clicked on color ramp, so I see all color ramp styles. Yeah. So how do we prepare style on QGIS? So let's move to QGIS. So to just to mention that there are currently two supported style files on the hub, which are an XML file or a GPL file. JPL file is basically a GIMP palette file. So generate, for example, an XML style. Let's go to settings, style manager, and I've prepared um, a mock style here, which I called water bodies. And you just click here on it and click the import export button, and yeah, export item and click on it one more time and export. So it should export your style as an XML file. So
Lova,
yes.
I'll just mention that you can also select multiple styles at the same time. So you can make a pack like by choosing 2 or 3 together if you want to, and it will like you don't have to do one at a time. Just
Okay,
in
yeah,
case people are wondering,
yeah, sure, Tim. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks. So from the QGIS from the hub platform, you can go you can click on the upload button, and yeah, you'll be redirected to the upload form where you will choose your style file here, a thumbnail, an image representation of your style, a description, tags if they are needed, and confirm. And yeah, you just click on upload. So for other resource type, the process on the hub are basically the same, but yeah, you just have to prepare them. The preparation process are quite a bit different. For example, for the projects, which also we call GeoPackage. So they are GeoPackage files that contain QGIS project file, and yeah, all the data layers used in QGIS project. So for the projects, for example, I'm not going to show you how to prepare them because it's quite a tricky process, but there is already a tutorial available here from Hans that you can follow along to prepare QGIS show package project. So once your geo package project ready, you can upload them. Once again, click on the upload button, and yeah, fill the form here with your show package project. So moving on to the next one, the next resource type we have are models. So basically, they are processing algorithm that can be run in sequence to automate a task. Once again, there is already a tutorial available for preparing a QGIS model here. You can also follow along and yeah, go on with the upload process. So here I wanted to mention that there is this field that your model can depend on some plugins. So you just have to mention them here if they are. So yeah, the next resource type is 3D models. Yeah, they're just of 3D models that can be used in any 3D software. So basically, the platform supports format of 3D models. The supported format is a zipped OBJ and MTL files, compressed in the same zip file. So yeah, if you want to contribute them, so you just basically have to you can just follow the upload process. And the next one is QLR. QLR is layer definition files. The extension is .qlr. So they are formats they allows users to share complete QGIS layers with other QGIS users. To prepare QGIS layer, you can just on QGIS you can right click on a layer. Sorry, right click on a layer and export and click on save as a layer definition file, and you will have your QLR. I wonder if there is any other method to export a QLR file. Please don't hesitate to interrupt me if there are. But yeah, this is just a basic thing that we can do. And moving on to the platform, once again, we click on upload and yeah, put on the fill the file, fill the form with all the information. So we have here the file, the thumbnail name. There are some specific fields here, like URL metadata and license for the specifically for the QLR. Let me just grab some water. And the two last resource types that we've recently deployed are maps and processing files. So for the maps, they are basically images, maps that are made with obviously QGIS. So yeah, if you're wondering how to make the maps, that you just go to your layout manager or and just export your map as an image file here. There are a bunch of extensions that are supported on the platform. So yeah, you can just export your map, and then on the platform you click on the upload button, and yeah, your map doesn't need a thumbnail, so the map itself will be the thumbnail, and fill the form. So just to notice that every resource type that you upload will go through a review process before being approved. So if you upload, they will not directly show under the list, but they will show they will go under the review process before showing the so yeah, here are a list of map. You can click on a map and preview it on a full size. So yeah, that's basically it. And the last one is a processing script. So yeah, processing, also known as processing algorithms. So there are a set of proper processing algorithms that can be run in a sequence to automate the task. So here we have already one processing script that is made available by Hans. You can click on it, preview the script, how it looks like, and to prepare a processing script, you on QGIS, you click on that processing tool buttons, and yeah, there are some how to say different method that you can use, create a new script from scratch, or you can also create a new script from template, and yeah, edit your script whenever edit script on any IDE, or just stick here on QGIS and test if it works well. And afterwards, you just save your script as a Python file .py. So the hub platform only supports that .py file, and yeah, it's the same process. You just go to upload and yeah, file the the form here again as the pros as the like the um, uh, models. Your script might need plugin dependency, so you just mention them here. One last thing about the hub. If you are of if you prefer the the URL way to access each resource type, you can also access them through the URL. For example, for the styles, you can type here styles that QGIS at work, and yeah, it will redirect you to the styles and for the maps that QGIS that work. Yes, it will redirect you to the map. So I think that's it for the hub. So
This is
I
so
wanted
cool.
also thanks, Emmy. I wanted also to quickly introduce an early preview of the work that I'm currently working on. So basically, if you are familiar with the changelog website, what I'm working on currently is to separate this website in three separated site: changelog, sustaining members, and certification. So and apply the new branding as the main website. So just as an early preview, this is how will the changelog look like. You will have the list of the QGIS versions here and with all the changelog details. For the sustaining members, here is a preview. We'll have the page title button here, and yeah, the list map of the sustaining members, and a list of the sustaining members, the current sustaining members. And finally, for the certification, it looks the same for the page detail, and with also a map that that maps are the certifying organization. You can see the list here, or where who are the certifying organization in this country, and yeah, the list of courses that are coming soon. So yeah, that's basically it for me. Perhaps we could hand over to Selma.
That sounds awesome. Before we hand over, I have a couple of questions on the hub. Really, really great work. It looks amazing. I think this is so cool. Can anybody in the community upload resources to the hub? And is there any kind of validation or review process?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, you need an OSGeo account to be able to upload a resource. So it's like on the QGIS plugins website. Let me just cancel this one. Okay. Um, Here you let me log out. You need an OSGeo account to be able to to upload a resource here through the OSGeo web portal. And afterwards, if your account are validated, you can just put your username and password here and upload any resource. And what was the second question? I'm sorry.
Do they go through any kind of review process or validation when they upload?
Yes. There is a review process before your resource get listed here. They will review by contributors.
Mhm.
Each resource tip will be reviewed, and if there is any need for modification, you will receive an email that your resource need some updates.
All right, brilliant stuff. I think that the interns should upload their Bob Rosses here. I think one of the community members, I think it's Hamid, who often does 3D mapping. Some of his 3D models would look really great here. And yeah, thanks to Hans for all the cool tutorials. I think let's head over to Salma.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
Alrighty, I can see perfect.
Okay, so my name is Selma, and I am documentation writer, QGIS documentation writer. And I will start with a quick intro into documentation for people who are new in the community and don't know how our process of documenting things is functioning. So you can access the documentation through the main QGIS website. If you go to resources and click on the documentation, you will find a lot of things here. So you need to know what you are looking for. So here you can choose the language that you want. And you can choose which version of the documentation you want to check. You need to pay attention that the latest LTR is always labeled as the latest documentation, and that all new updates and all upcoming updates we are doing on the testing documentation. If you choose the testing documentation, you will only access English version, and if you choose LTR documentation, you can access a lot of languages here. Our documentation have few parts for users, for the writers, and for developers. For users, today we will focus on the user manual, user guide, but you can also choose training manual or gentle intro to GIS or server guide. And if you want to update or change something in the documentation, you can choose documentation guidelines. So I will start just quick with the documentation guidelines. So we will not go into details because this process is not very quick process. But if you want to contribute to our documentation, you can do that through the GitHub interface, or you can do that through the command line. If you choose to any of these options, you need to create an account on GitHub, and you need to fork the main repository to your account. I'm saying this basically most because of our interns. If you decide to contribute to documentation, you are more than welcome, and you can find all the steps here in the documentation guidelines. Now I will present you the GitHub repository. That is the main platform where we are updating our docs. Here you can find the two types of issues. One type of issue ticket is the automatically created ticket that is linked with the main QGIS development repository. When someone develops new features and label that pull request with needs documentation label, and merge it, that will automatically create issue ticket in our repository, so that we are aware that there is a new feature or new option that we need to document. Also, Also here you can find, or you can create issue ticket if you find something that is outdated or incorrect, or needs some updates, or needs to update screens or anything in the docs. You can create a issue ticket and notify us that there is something that needs to be fixed. And we are really appreciate all those open tickets where we notify that something is not okay. So now I will start with the things that are new in the documentation. These last few weeks are somehow I personally documented most of the processing algorithms. We have a lot of new processing algorithms. Most significant are that we now have metadata tools. This is the completely new section in the processing algorithms. There is a set of six algorithms that you can use to edit your metadata, and you can find them you can find them here. They are very well documented. And of course, if you ever want to document processing algorithms in the documentation guidelines, you will find step-by-step instructions how to document algorithms. Second algorithm that we documented in the past few weeks were the elevation profile image algorithm. This is a very interesting new thing. For me, it was very interesting to document it. And you can find it also. You can find it also under the section of processing algorithms. If you go to plots, you can find generate elevation image profile. Here you have a lot of basic, not too much of basic algorithms, but a lot of advanced parameters. So feel free to check it out. After that, we have some new things in the raster analysis. Those that are documented are zonal statistics and raster minimum and zonal minimum and maximum point and zonal raster layer zonal statistics. Sorry, and also you can find them under the raster analysis processing algorithms here. After that, we have some. We had some. Sorry, I'm sharing just a window, right? You don't see my QGIS. Just
No,
questions. Oh, sorry. Let me fix that. Sorry.
Yeah, the share can be quite picky with QGIS, so just make sure you're sharing full screen so we can see any
Yes.
pop-ups in Windows. Yeah.
Yeah. The second next thing that I want to present that is new in the documentation is advanced digitizing, and it is mesh updates. For example, here we have a sample of mesh, and if we want to edit it, now we have a few new options. Which are selected isolated vertex and selected all vertex. Very useful. And that documentation you can find under chapter working with mesh, editing a mesh layer. Here it is, it's documented. And also we have some new things under the properties. Sorry. If you go to contours, now you can choose user-defined values as it was before, and min-max defined values, where you can choose to extend whole mesh, current canvas, and updated canvas. This is something that is new for the mesh. This is the option that we have in the raster, but not for the mesh. And you can find it documented under the working with mesh data under the mesh dataset properties section symbology. And of course, there was a lot of smaller updates, like updates in the layer style layer library. Also. We had some updates in the layout, and you can all check that under the testing version of documentation.
You're naming all my favorite things, Salma.
Nice. So, and the last thing that I was working on is the new data provider called Sensor Things. Very complex team, and it was this is the example of a great work between people who are documenting and people who are really understand what is going on when we come to some advanced options like this one. This is the still work in progress. It is waiting the final review, but I created a preview for Sensor Things. Here, it will probably be documented under the working with OGC protocols. Here you can find explanation about sensor things, some diagram that will provide you more insights to understanding these kind of providers. And you can find all the steps that you need to take for creating sensor things layers in the QGIS. For example, I can show you. I have loaded some of those here. As I understood, there is there are data streams, feature of interest, and locations. And these like historical location, these things that are some expenses on the data model itself. So it is very interesting, and I believe it will be merged very soon, and you can check that. That will be all for updates. And if anyone has some questions about the documentation process, how to create, how to edit documentation, please ask.
Brilliant stuff. That is also exciting. How cool. So if someone wants to contribute to the documentation, do they have to do it through the GitHub workflow?
Well, yes, they have to do it through the GitHub workflow. That keeps us, that prevents any mistakes and some stuff that we don't want to into documentation. So as I already said, you need to have account, and you need to fork QGIS documentation repository, and then you can choose to edit it on GitHub or use command line tools, whatever you like. For me personally, if you want to create smaller changes, choose GitHub interface, and if you want to create some larger, bigger updates, use a command line.
Okay. And is there documentation on how to add documentation?
Yes, of course. You can find the documentation guidelines. Our docs are written in the restructured text syntax, and you can also find some guidelines how to use RST and how to update the docs.
Very, very cool. So I know obviously there are lots of QGIS users all over the world, from I'm pretty sure every country. So how does the translation of the documentation happen?
Well, we use a platform called Transifex for translation. Also, someone who needs to create, who wants to translate, needs to create account on Transifex, and then start with translation. And with every LRT release, we will pull those translations and update it on the doc side.
So community members who are not necessarily as technical, but perhaps have a second language, could contribute through translating.
Definitely, and you can also, in the documentation guidelines, you can also find the guidelines for the translation, and anyone who wants to do as much as they can do on the translation, and they can do on the doc side.
Oh, that's brilliant. I wish I spoke more than one language. So I do encourage everybody who's watching, who has those kind of skills, to definitely get involved and help us with the translations and the documentation in general. You know, if you're working through something and find something that's not there, either add a ticket or fork the repo there and make an edit to the documentation. It's always very useful for the greater good for us all to check,
and
you know.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Are there any other questions in the room or notes that we need to make? I really love the new theme of the website. It's been a while since I've checked in, and the last time we checked in, we were still going through the phase of passing all of the UI UX. So it's really clean and lovely. I'm quite impressed. It's very nice. Alrighty. If that is everything, then I think we can bring this session to a close. Brilliant stuff. All right. Thank you to everyone who did join us on the live chat from all over the world. It's always lovely to have you with us, commenting and interacting on the videos. And I do encourage everyone to go check out the new hub. I think it's a very cool platform to go and grab a lot of resources. I know when I worked on things, it was very useful to get some resources from people who have a lot more experience than me using GIS and QGIS. So I know I've used a couple of Hans's resources for some water mapping, etc. And I've definitely used a lot of Tim's resources. So go and have a look at the hub. It's a really fantastic resource for your general work. And if you're researching as a student, absolutely go and check it out. All right. The next QGIS Open Day will be, I think, on the 25th of April. That is the next last Friday of the month. I won't be hosting. I am actually in Prague or somewhere overseas, but I'm sure we will make a plan between myself, Tim, and Siabilwe to get a good QGIS Open Day out. And thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And brilliant stuff. We are offline. Thank you, everyone. That was brilliant.